Kit, 24 hours after the end of the transfer window, tell me your thoughts, how pleased you are with the acquisitions that you've got, and if there were any targets that you seem to have missed out on.
Absolutely delighted with the work that's been done, and it has been a lot of hard work by a lot of people, but the boys we brought in are the quality that's required, and I'm very, very pleased. I think it's no secret we were trying to get another one in on loan, but that was reliant on the other club getting a player in to release the one that we were looking at doing, and they didn't manage that, so that one didn't come through. It was all done, it was all agreed, paperwork was in place, but it didn't come off. But I'm more than happy with what we've done. We've obviously still got the emergency loan window to open up on the 8th, and we'll be looking to explore that avenue as well. But the boys we've got in, I'm really, really pleased with, and they will be great acquisitions for this football club.
For people that don't understand the process and the intricacies of transfer dealings and the negotiations that take place and everything that results in a player coming through the door, it's a very long process. It's not a simple, we want a player and therefore we get a player. It just doesn't work like that.
No, not at all. I mean, Richard Stearman, for example, we put an initial bid into Wolves in May, and it took all that time for it to come to fruition. Originally, he wasn't for sale, and why would he be? He's their captain, their player of the year, fans player of the year, players player of the year. So for us to actually get him in the end is tremendous for us as a football club. But you know, they didn't want to sell, and it took a long process to get to the stage where we could get him to put pen to paper, and finally has done, and we're very, very pleased.
Do you believe now, obviously there's the loan window and potentially there might be somebody else coming in, but do you believe now that you have the squad that's going to enable you to achieve the targets that A, you've set yourself, and B, the club has set?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I will get judged on each time my last game, as a football manager. It's not your next game, because if your last game's not good enough, you might not get the next game. It's as simple as that. So I'll get judged on what people see on any given match day, but it's the process of a lot of work that's gone into getting us there. So I believe and I expect that we will really kick on now, and results will be very, very strong. But it's not happened overnight. It's not luck. It's down to a lot of hard work by, like I say, a lot of people, and the support and the backing and the way people have worked together now at the football club is brilliant, and it will make us strong.
You have some strength and depth now. There's lots of competition in certain places. How difficult is that going to be in terms of your selection process, or is it whoever is good enough wears the jersey, and whoever plays well wears the jersey?
It's going to be brilliant. It's fantastic. It's decisions for a manager to make, for me to make, great decisions. I'm picking between two very good players or three very good players for one position. Brilliant. Happy days that is. So it's who's in form, who deserves it, who's playing one at a time. So, and then looking at the opposition we're playing against. One player might be better suited to deal with that opposition than another. So,
and not forgetting the amount of games that you have to play that come thick and fast.
Absolutely, we'll take all these things into account, and we're going to need this decent sized squad that we've got in now. I mean, we've done an unbelievable amount of business in this window since the end of the season. I think we've had something like 18, 19 players go out of the football club. Some loan players, some on permanent deals, and we've got 12 players in. So it's tremendous business, but a lot of business. And there was a strategy and a plan in place. I was put under pressure by some people to spend in January, the January window. I didn't think it was the right time, and it's not a good market, and you end up panic buying almost, or you can do, and then being stuck with a player who's maybe not the right one for the football club on a long contract. So I didn't want to do that. I was. You
talk about pressure. Who do you think that pressure came from?
Oh, it's pressure from fans, pressure from within the club as well to actually spend some money now. And I understand that and why people would feel like that, but also we made a decision that it wasn't the right thing to do. I felt we had enough to stay up last season, and then this summer was going to be massive for the football club with our recruitment. And it's proved to be the case. We did have enough to stay up. It was a bit closer than I would have hoped at the end of last season, closer than I would have anticipated. But we did it, and it looked fairly comfortable in the end, although, trust me, I was having plenty of sleepless nights. But I knew I had to go through that. We had to go through that as a football club to be in a strong position now. With the acquisitions now, I would have loved them all in place before the first day of pre-season, if not that, before the first ball was kicked of the league, but it wasn't to be the case, you know. Now, again, I'm glad, I was happy we waited to 5 games in, but we've got the players that we wanted, we've got the players that we needed, and, you know, we've got not a great points return, 5 points from the first 5 games, certainly a lot better than last year, and that's okay to be moving on with. Now, we need to up it and improve it, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
And as you say, you will be judged on those results, and that starts a week on Sunday. There is no respite in terms of what the expectation of you will be now that you've been given the tools and the backing to be able to get the squad that you wanted.
Well, that's it. You know, as a manager, you expect to get judged on your results, and that's the way the game is. I've got no problem with that. You would hope people are able to sort of look ahead a little bit and maybe see what you're trying to do, and there is a plan and strategy in place, but that's not always the case, you know. As I say, you get judged on your last game quite often, and again, that's the way our football is, so I'm under no illusions. I've got no major problems with that. But now we've got the players that we wanted. I'm delighted, I'm very pleased. I've been well backed by the chairman and supported by people at the football club. You know, I want to be judged on the results. Now I've got the tools to get those results, and I'm very, very pleased and very, very positive about things moving forward.
Let's talk about the players. You were unlucky with injuries. There's no two ways about it. Marcus Bettinelli's operation on Tuesday. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, it went really, really well. He's out of hospital now. Had his MCL repaired. The PCL, which we were a little bit worried about, the other ligament, was nowhere near as bad as was feared. So that's really positive, fantastic news for Marcus.
But it's still a long term.
It's still be 4 to 6 month type recovery, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
You know, we were looking at potentially it being longer, being worse than that. So that is positive, brilliant news. So we're delighted for Marcus. Be a long, hard road on his recovery, but he's a very strong-minded, driven individual, and he'll come back. He'll come back better than ever. I've got no doubt about that.
And Luke Garbett, who I know you were delighted with getting injured straight away against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
How close is he now? I know he's been doing his rehab back at Everton's training ground.
That's right. Yeah, he was down for the Huddersfield game. Came down to watch that, which probably wouldn't have cheered him up too much. But he was in good spirits, good form, and he's back. He's upped his rehab work now. Our medical guys are actually going up to see him on Friday, and looking to get him back in then to finish the last bit of his rehab with us before he's back into full training and looking to play games.
And George Williams itching to get back. You can see every time you see him on the training pitch.
Yeah, he's done really well, Georgie. We've got a game today against Crawley, a friendly behind closed door game that we're doing. So Scott Parker's getting game time in that. We were hoping George could feature in that, but it's literally a few days too soon, and we just won't take chances with him now. So George is pencilled in. We've got a 21s game against Stoke at the Britannia next Saturday. So George will be pencilled in for some game time there. So he's obviously very, very close now, training with the first team squad and very close to full fitness.
And that was my next question, the return of Scott Parker. It's one that everybody will be delighted about. How good will that be to have him back?
Brilliant. Just in training already, it's been excellent. You know, having Scotty back in, I think he's got a buzz about it. He's looking around him and seeing, you know, a lot of good players around him now, a lot of good players who really want to be at this football club and are driven and motivated to do well for the football club. And so he's just pleased to be back playing football, but I think he's got a real buzz about him as well, seeing what's going on. So like I say, he'll feature today now against Crawley, and it'll be a real good workout for him and be great to see him back.
I know it sounds like a cliche, but everybody that we've spoken to, all of the acquisitions and all of the guys that have been around, especially buoyed by the last couple of results, getting positive results is a great feeling for everybody. But there does seem to be an air of positivity in what can be achieved at this football club now. Yeah,
well, there is, and rightly so. Like I say, once you know you've got the tools to work with, then if we don't get the results now, you know, it's down to us, and we'll be accountable for it. So yeah, I think everyone is looking around and thinking, you know, we're very good, we're very competitive in this league. Let's go and do something about it.
Bring on Blackburn.
Come on.